Beloved, pause. Let the clamor of the world slip away. You're here, in this fleeting moment, not by accident, but by a sacred design woven through time. Every joy, every scar, every restless night has guided you to these words, a divine thread pulling you toward truth. Feel it, deep within, that quiet pulse whispering you're destined for more than the ordinary. You're not just another soul adrift. You're chosen, marked by God's own hand. Look at your palms. Do you see it? The gentle curve of an M etched in the lines, or perhaps a crescent moon, faint yet luminous, tracing its path. These aren't mere quirks of flesh. They're emblems of a calling, unseen by most but radiant to those who seek. They speak of a life not bound by routine, but alive with purpose, ready to unfold. You've always known, haven't you? That nagging sense that the world's script, chase money, cling to safety, wasn't written for you. 1. A path beyond the ordinary. Deep within you, a quiet yet persistent voice has always whispered that your life is meant for something extraordinary. It's a feeling that stirs your soul, a subtle nudge that you were never destined to blend into the ordinary paths carved by the world around you. This isn't just a fleeting thought. It's a divine signal, a confirmation that your journey is unique. The struggles you faced, the uncertainties that have weighed on your heart, the moments of doubt that felt like heavy clouds, they're all part of a sacred design, guiding you to this very moment. These challenges are not here to break you, but to prepare you for a transformation that's about to unfold. Imagine a life where the burdens of worry dissolve, replaced by a radiant reality of abundance, clarity, and unshakable purpose. This is not a distant dream, but a promise waiting for you to claim. Don't turn away from this sign. What you're on the verge of discovering could be the spark that ignites the greatest shift you've ever experienced, a shift that aligns your life with the divine calling written in your soul. I'm not here to speak of endless toil, grueling sacrifices, or the pressure to conform to the world's rigid expectations. Those are fleeting pursuits that leave the heart unfulfilled. Instead, I'm inviting you to step into a truth far greater than the temporary rewards of a paycheck, a job title, or societal approval. You, chosen one, were crafted by God for a purpose that transcends the ordinary. You weren't placed on this earth to merely exist, to clock in and out of a system that dims your light. Your destiny is to shine, to become a beacon for others, to walk a path that inspires and uplifts. Can you feel it? That restless spark inside you, the one that questions why you're here, the one that refuses to settle for a life of routine. It's not random. It's the voice of your calling, urging you to rise above the noise of the world and embrace the unique mission only you can fulfill. Most people spend their days chasing shadows, status, wealth, or a fragile sense of security that slips through their fingers like sand. They pour their energy into fitting into systems that weren't built for their spirits, striving to complete a puzzle where their piece never quite belongs. They run in circles, exhausted, seeking validation from a world that cannot see their true worth. But you, dear chosen one, are different. You weren't born for this endless race. If you've ever noticed the mark of the letter M etched in the lines of your palm or the faint crescent moon drawn there, pause and consider. These are not mere coincidences. They are sacred symbols, whispers from God that you are set apart for something magnificent. You are not here to chase what the world offers. You are here to uncover what has already been destined for you. Reflect for a moment. When have you felt most alive? When has your heart raced with joy? Not from that life is within reach, but it begins with a choice. To stop running after what isn't yours and start listening to the divine guidance that's been with you all along. Your purpose isn't found in a paycheck or a promotion. It's found in the moments when you feel connected to something greater, when your actions ripple outward to touch others' lives. To stay connected to this unfolding revelation, consider subscribing to this channel now. By doing so, you ensure that you won't miss the messages meant for you, the words that arrive at just the right time to guide your next steps. The world will keep pulling you toward its fleeting promises, but you are called to rise above, to trust that God's plan is unfolding. You are not here to seek endlessly. You are here to find, to step boldly into the purpose that has been waiting for you all along. What you discover next could redefine everything you thought you knew about your life. Are you ready to embrace it? 2. Discovering your divine purpose. When God whispers, "Don't look for work," He isn't urging you to remain idle or passive. Instead, He invites you to pause the frantic pursuit of what doesn't belong to you. Those fleeting goals that society often mistakes for fulfillment. Too many people entangle their identity with their occupation, believing their worth is tied to a title, a paycheck, or a role they play to survive. But God speaks a deeper truth. You are not defined by your job. You are defined by your purpose, a unique calling woven into the fabric of your being, etched in signs He has placed within and around you. This purpose isn't a vague concept. It's a divine blueprint crafted for you before you took your first breath. It intertwines with your talents, ignites your passions, and resonates with the very essence of your soul. To uncover it, you must shift from a mindset of endless searching to one of intentional discovery. Seekers chase relentlessly, driven by fear of scarcity, fear of falling behind, fear of not measuring up. Their steps are hurried, their hearts heavy with the weight of never having enough. But those who discover their purpose move differently. They pause, they listen, they trust. They allow themselves to be guided by a voice that speaks softly yet surely. Chasing a job often means squeezing yourself into a mold that doesn't fit, a system that demands conformity over authenticity. It asks you to trade your uniqueness for acceptance, to prioritize stability over significance. But discovering your purpose is about alignment, about stepping into the path God has already prepared for you. This path doesn't require you to force your way through. It unfolds naturally when you honor who you were created to be. The answers you seek aren't hidden in distant places or locked behind achievements. They reside within you, closer than you might realize. His signs are all around you, subtle yet profound, like whispers in the wind. They appear in the moments that make your heart race with joy, in the tasks that feel effortless, in the dreams that refuse to fade. What stirs your soul? What activity makes time slip away unnoticed? These aren't mere hobbies or passing interests. They are breadcrumbs leading to your calling. Perhaps it's the way you comfort others with your words, the ease with which you create beauty, or the fire that sparks when you solve a problem. These are not coincidences. They are divine fingerprints, evidence of a purpose tailored to you. Yet so many walk through life blind to these signs, caught in a cycle that glorifies busyness over meaning. Society teaches us to chase security, a steady job, a predictable routine, as if that's the pinnacle of success. But security built on external measures is fragile, always one step away from crumbling. The chosen ones, however, feel a different pull. There's a restlessness within them, a quiet knowing that they were made for more. They sense that true fulfillment lies not in fitting into the world's expectations, but in embracing the mission God has entrusted to them. Consider this. What do you do with ease? What flows naturally from you, even when others find it daunting? These gifts are no accident. They are tools. Alignment isn't a promise of ease, but a guarantee of peace. When you're on the right road, there's a conviction in your steps, a clarity in your heart, even when the destination isn't fully visible. Discovering your purpose isn't about having every answer up front. It's about trusting the process, embracing each step as it comes, every intuition that nudges you forward. every encounter that feels orchestrated, every opportunity that aligns with your deepest desires. These are threads in a tapestry God is weaving, revealing His plan bit by bit. To live this way requires courage. Courage to let go of the world's metrics of success. Courage to trust that God's provision is enough. It means redefining abundance, not as a bank balance or a collection of possessions, but as a life rich with meaning, connection, and impact. When you align with your purpose, you no longer live in scarcity's shadow. You begin to see that everything you need, wisdom, resources, strength, arrives precisely when it's meant to. This is the freedom of walking in faith, knowing that your value isn't tied to what you do for a living, but to who you are in God's eyes. So, pause and reflect. What has God been whispering to you all along? What signs have you overlooked in the rush of daily life? Maybe it's the way you light up when you teach, the peace you feel when you write, or the joy you find in serving others. These are not random. They are invitations to step into your calling. Your purpose isn't something you have to create. It's something you uncover, layer by layer, as you trust God's guidance. And as you do, you'll find that the restlessness within you transforms into resolve, the uncertainty into clarity, and the search into a journey of discovery that leads you exactly where you were meant to be. 3. Abundance through faith. The world relentlessly pushes us toward a narrow definition of success. Stability above all else. A secure job, a steady paycheck, a predictable routine. These are the pillars society holds up as the ultimate goals. Yet what so few come to understand is that this so-called stability is often a gilded cage, a trap that binds us to a life of limitation. People pour their years into clinging to a system that dangles the promise of security, but quietly stifles their deepest dreams, smothers their unique essence, and dims the spark of who they were meant to be. This pursuit of safety creates a cycle of fear. Fear of losing what little has been gained. Fear of stepping beyond the familiar. Fear of an uncertain tomorrow. But God's vision for you is far greater than this. You were not created to cower in the shadow of fear, or to scrape by in mere survival. You were born to flourish, to radiate purpose, to live a life that echoes with meaning and divine intention. The chosen, those who feel the stirrings of a higher calling, do not blend into the crowd. They cannot conform to the rigid rules and expectations crafted by a world that values compliance over individuality. Within you burns a purpose that sets you apart, a sacred mission that refuses to be confined by society's checklists or measures of worth. The world insists that success demands a brutal fight, that you must sacrifice your peace, your joy, and even your authenticity to claw your way to the top. It tells you to trade your nights for endless toil, to silence your heart's whispers for the sake of a paycheck, to measure your life by external markers, titles, possessions, applause. But God speaks a different truth, one that resonates with the quiet strength of eternity. I am your shepherd, you shall not want. These words are not a mere promise, they are a divine assurance. When you align your steps with the purpose God has woven into your soul, you no longer need to chase what was never meant for you. You don't need to grasp at fleeting opportunities or wrestle with scarcity, for God's provision flows to those who walk in faith. This divine plan is not about striving harder or forcing your way through closed doors. Abundance in God's economy does not stem from human sweat or relentless hustle. It arises from surrender, from trusting in the path laid out before you, from obeying the call to live as you were designed. When you move in harmony with this plan, the world shifts around you. Doors swing open, not by your might, but by divine timing. Opportunities unfold, not because you chased them, but because they were meant for you. resources, connections, and moments of clarity arrive precisely when needed, not as rewards for effort, but as gifts of grace. This is the rhythm of a life aligned with purpose, not a frantic race, but a steady walk where everything you need finds its way to you at the appointed time. Do not fall into the trap of believing that your worth is tied to a job title, a salary, or the approval of others. Your value is not defined by what you do to earn a living or how well you fit into the world's mold. Your value lies in the unique purpose God has entrusted to you, a calling that no one else can fulfill. The world measures wealth with cold arithmetic, the digits in your bank account, the square footage of your home, the brand names in your closet, the trophies on your shelf. It equates abundance with accumulation, urging you to gather more, to secure more, to prove your worth through what you can show. But God's abundance transcends these fleeting metrics. Money is finite. It ebbs and flows, subject to markets, seasons, and chance. Possessions fade, break, or lose their shine. Status crumbles under the weight of time. But God's abundance is boundless, a wellspring that never runs dry. It pours forth in peace that anchors you through storms, in wisdom that lights your decisions, in relationships that enrich your soul, in opportunities that align with your calling, and in a sense of fullness that no material wealth can rival. Picture a bucket dipped into a well, constantly filled and emptied, always at risk of running dry. That is the world's version of wealth. Temporary, exhausting, precarious. Now imagine a spring, vibrant and unending, its waters flowing freely no matter how much you draw. This is God's abundance, a source that sustains you without fail, not because of what you do, but because of who you trust. When you live in alignment with God's purpose, provision becomes a matter of faith, not effort. You don't need to chase abundance, for it is already yours. It seeks you out, finds you where you stand, and fills your life with what matters most. This abundance is not about amassing more money or possessions. It's about living free from the gnawing fear of scarcity. It's about waking each day with the certainty that you are enough, that your needs are seen, and that your path is secure in God's hands. God does not desire for you to live shackled by worry, haunted by the specter of not enough. He calls you to a life of trust, where fear gives way to confidence and striving yields to surrender. The world's definition of abundance keeps you tethered to a cycle of want, always needing more to feel complete. But God's abundance sets you free, inviting you to live fully in the present, to embrace each moment with gratitude and purpose. The question is not how much you possess, but how deeply you live. Are you merely surviving, counting your coins and guarding your security? Or are you flourishing, trusting that every step you take in God's purpose brings you closer to a life of wholeness? The choice is yours, to cling to the world's fleeting promises or to walk boldly in the inexhaustible provision of the one who created you for more. 4. Listening and reflecting. God is always speaking to you, but the question remains, are you truly listening? His voice rarely arrives in dramatic, unmistakable ways, like thunder from the heavens or a clear command in the night. Instead, it weaves itself into the quiet fabric of your life, a fleeting intuition, a subtle nudge in your heart, a moment of clarity amid chaos. These are the signs that go unnoticed by those too distracted by the world's clamor. The relentless pace of daily life, endless to-do lists, the weight of routine, the gnawing fear of an uncertain future, the constant pursuit of fleeting security, creates a cacophony that drowns out the divine whisper. Yet, for those who pause, who choose to still their minds and open their hearts, something extraordinary happens. They hear what others miss. They sense a presence, a guidance, a purpose that has been there all along. God holds every answer you seek. The challenge isn't that He remains silent. It's that so many of us have forgotten how to quiet the noise to hear him. The world pulls us outward, demanding our attention with its distractions and pressures. But God's voice calls us inward, to a place of stillness and truth. To connect with your true purpose, you must carve out sacred space in your life. A space where the chatter of the world fades and the voice of the divine becomes clear. This isn't about retreating from life, but about grounding yourself in a deeper awareness. It's about learning to listen with intention, to tune your heart to the frequency of God's guidance. God speaks through the unique tapestry of who you are. Your gifts, those talents that flow effortlessly from you, are not random. They are divine tools crafted for a purpose. Your deepest desires, the dreams that stir your soul even when logic tells you to ignore them, are not mere whims. They are echoes of your calling. The moments when your heart feels alive, when time slips away and you're immersed in something greater than yourself, are not accidents. They are glimpses of the path God has laid before you. What brings you peace? What fills you with a sense of meaning that no paycheck or title could ever match? These are not coincidences but signposts, pointing you toward the life you were created to live. To hear God's voice, you must cultivate the art of stillness. This means stepping away from the endless scroll of screens, the pressure to keep up, the fear of falling behind. It means creating moments in your day to reflect, to pray, to simply be. Prayer isn't always about work. These moments are not just hobbies or pastimes. They are divine invitations, beckoning you toward your purpose. What stirs a fire within you? A passion that persists even when no one else understands it. That spark is a gift, a clue to the mission God has entrusted to you. Consider this. What do you do with ease, even when others find it challenging? The talents that come naturally to you, whether it's solving problems, inspiring others, or bringing beauty into the world, are not random. They are sacred endowments, placed in your hands for a reason. They are the tools God has given you to fulfill a role only you can play. Reflect on the times when you feel closest to God. Is it in moments of quiet reflection, in acts of kindness, or when you're immersed in something that feels bigger than yourself? These are not fleeting emotions, but markers of alignment, signals that you're walking the path meant for you. Pay attention to what others see in you. Often those around us notice strengths we overlook. What do people thank you for? What do they say you do exceptionally well? Maybe they admire your patience, your creativity, or your ability to bring clarity to confusion. These affirmations are not just compliments. They are mirrors reflecting the gifts God has placed within you. Don't dismiss them. Let them guide you toward a deeper understanding of your calling. Now imagine a world where money and status hold no sway over your choices. If financial fears vanished, what would you pour your life into? This question strips away the world's expectations and reveals what truly matters to you. Your purpose isn't tied to wealth or recognition, but to the impact you were created to make. Perhaps you teach, heal, build, or inspire. Whatever it is, that vision is a window into the mission God has written on your heart. It's a glimpse of the life you're meant to live, one that brings fulfillment beyond what the world can offer. These questions are more than an exercise. They are a sacred practice, a way to align your heart with God's plan. They invite you to look beyond the surface of your life, beyond the demands of routine or the pressure to conform, and see the divine thread running through it all. Your purpose isn't something you have to chase. It's something you uncover, step by step, as you learn to trust the signs God has given you. It's about recognizing that every moment of joy, every spark of inspiration, every gift you carry is part of a larger story, a story God is telling through you. So, start today. Set aside time to listen, to reflect, to ask these questions with an open heart. Trust that God is speaking, not in riddles but in love, guiding you toward a life of purpose and peace. The signs are all around you. in your talents, your dreams, the quiet moments when you feel most yourself. All you need to do is pause, listen, and let the divine voice lead you home. From the moment we're born, the world hands us a script. Fit in, follow the rules, chase stability. Society whispers that success lies in conformity. Study hard, secure a job, walk the well-trodden path laid out for the masses. But deep within, a question stirs. What if this isn't my path? What if I was created for something more? If you've ever felt out of place, like a piece that doesn't quite fit the world's puzzle, take heart. You're not alone. That restlessness, that quiet sense that there's something greater waiting, is no accident. It's the voice of your soul, echoing God's truth. You weren't made to blend in, but to stand out, not to conform, but to transform. God crafted you with a unique purpose, a divine calling that sets you apart. The chosen ones, those who feel the weight of a higher mission, never fully belong to the world's mold. Trying to squeeze into its expectations is like dimming a light meant to shine brightly. It means silencing the call God has woven into your very being. But when you let go of the need to fit in, when you embrace the truth of who you are, something miraculous unfolds. The chains of others' opinions fall away. The fear of judgment dissolves, replaced by a bold confidence in your purpose. You begin to walk a path not dictated by the world, but illuminated by God's plan. This shift isn't just about rebellion against norms, it's about alignment with something eternal. When you step into the purpose God designed for you, clarity emerges like dawn breaking through the night. Questions that once haunted you find answers. Doors you never noticed swing open. Doubt gives way to conviction, not because life becomes predictable, but because you trust the one guiding your steps. This alignment brings a peace that the world cannot offer, a deep, unshakable assurance. Storms will come, and obstacles will rise. But here's the difference. When you're on the right path, those trials don't feel like dead ends. They become stepping stones, refining your strength and deepening your faith. You no longer live in scarcity, chasing what the world deems valuable, because you know that God provides what you need at the perfect time. This is true abundance, not just in material things, but in joy, wisdom, and fulfillment. The heaviness of uncertainty lifts, replaced by a lightness of spirit, a certainty that you're walking in truth. Imagine a life where every decision flows from faith, not fear. Picture waking each day with a sense of purpose, knowing that your gifts, your passions, your very existence are part of a divine story unfolding. This is the life God invites you to. A life not of striving, but of thriving. Not of fitting in, but of standing tall in your calling. The world's script may be loud, but God's voice is stronger, calling you to a destiny only you can fulfill. So where do you stand today? Are you still trying to fit into a mold that feels too small? Or are you ready to step into the fullness of who God created you to be? The choice is yours, and it begins now. Take a moment to reflect. What stirs your heart? What dreams have you buried under the weight of expectations? Start small, but start today. Pray for courage to release the world's demands. Journal about the moments when you feel most alive. Seek God's guidance in the quiet, and trust the signs He's already placed in your life. Every step you take toward your true calling is a step toward freedom, peace, and purpose. Don't wait for permission or perfection. The path to your divine purpose is already unfolding. Embrace it with boldness. Align your life with God's plan, and watch as He transforms your journey into something extraordinary.